Samoa is a small island developing state. It's in the Pacific region. It's also a least developed country under the United Nations classification. And it's typical of small island developing states. It has a very narrow economic base, very vulnerable to natural disasters and also weather hazards. It has a population of around 186,000. This is of the 2006 census. And it lies 3,500 kilometers northeast of New Zealand and 5,500 kilometers same direction from Australia. And it is one of the many Pacific Island countries within the region. Aid constitutes around 10% of our gross domestic product, GDP, and around 25% of our budget. So you can say that aid is important to the development of the country, particularly as our development budget mainly comes from our development partners. But having said that, we are very much on track should our status as a least developed country change, because our graduation from LDC status has been postponed to 2014, whereas only because we suffered a tsunami late last year. Otherwise, we would have begun graduation as of the end of this year. So aid is an important part of our development process, but we're very mindful of the fact that at some stage we would need to look at a way forward beyond depending on aid from our development partners. The Paris Declaration, as was outlined in the session this morning, it has only added impetus and has perhaps speeded up the reforms that our government had already undertaken well before 2005. So it was important for us because it brought focus on the principles that as a country we also accept that they are good measures of aid effectiveness in our country. So the Paris Declaration has simply speeded along what were already in train and in process for Samoa. But I think it has also brought to our attention the need to track the direction into the future. Whereas we feel now that at this point in the 2010 evaluation, we're quite comfortable with the fact that we have achieved the first three principles. So now the focus into the future is on the last two, managing for results and also mutual accountability.